Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Brakathum. To you hopefully elect out there. And just back with another quick video, man. Because being that the foundations of the earth are all out of course in this society, everything is upside down. And because of that, this is why we see the things that we see going on in this earth. And as far as how things are ran, right? People are just in a state of misery, man. Everyone's miserable, and really, man, it just comes down to how, because Esau, this whole thing with this global reset. Well, we're seeking a real global reset, man. Because you see, when Yahushai comes back to establish order on the earth, man, and that's the problem, because everything is completely out of order. All right. When Yahushua comes to reestablish order on the earth, and everything's going to be flipped upside up, man, right side up, and that's what we're desperately seeking. This is what we're desperately, this is what we want, man. This is what's needed, because again, just look at the condition of the earth, man, and how everything is just being ran, man. Like the scriptures say, man, this is not our rest. Jake is trying so hard to find that rest, that quietness, and trying to find comfort in all the wrong places, right? But ultimately, man, it just comes down to us needing the kingdom, So before I ramble, man, I saw this picture, or this meme or whatever. It says, try to explain, and it says what really happened, because, there was a point in time when, more so when it comes to the Israelite family structure, for the most part, there was exactly that. There was structure. There was some type of structure, some type of foundation, up until the point where, matter of fact, let me look this chick up, man, which I'm gonna say, because, you got to give it up for, you got to give it up to Esau Edom, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai set him up for a specific purpose, and he has fulfilled that purpose to a T. All right. He has done exactly what he was set up to do, which was to play the role of the wicked, the devil. All right. Because, all this, it was strategically set up by Esau Edom. All right. And touching on this here was no different, going into this whole movement that started with Gloria Steinem. All right. Gloria Steinem, if you don't know who that is, you can just do your research on her. But pretty much, matter of fact, because you can look her up. And right next to her is a so-called black woman. All right. Going into this whole thing with basically equal women's lib. All right. Equal rights and things of that nature, which reminds me of an interview done by Alex Jones and Aaron Russo some years ago, and in that interview, pretty much, Aaron Russo, man, he spilled a lot of beans, man. He brought out a lot of facts, pretty much. And one of the things that he mentioned in that interview with Alex Jones is the fact that the whole thing with women's libs, because people, for the most part, man, pretty much under a false facade. It's a false illusion, pretty much. It's an illusion, pretty much. Because one of the things that he mentioned going into that whole movement with women's liberation, right, was the fact that the elites, man, they set that whole thing up for one to tax the man and the woman, all right? Because at one point, like I said, at one point, for the most part, the Israelite family structure, there was some structure there. There was some type of foundation there, and there was a point in time when the men, would go to work and be able to provide for his family, while the woman, pretty much the man played this role, the woman, the husband played his role, the wife played her role, all right? But this whole thing with women's liberation and feminism and all this nonsense, like I said, going back to that interview, Aaron Russo, he brought it out. One of the things he mentioned was about how that whole thing, for one, like I said, it was to tax not only just the man, but to tax the woman as well, and to pretty much break up the family, break up the family homes, and to break up the family structure, right? Now you got the children, they're pretty much going to these public schools and, basically being raised by the state, So it was all one big, sham at the end of the day, Like I said, while people are, under this illusion as far as women's libs and, all this other nonsense, man, you see. And again, this is part of why you see nothing but chaos in this earth, man, and more so, again, when it comes to the family structure, the Israelite family structure, all right, there's a lot of broken homes within our communities, man, and but pretty much it all goes back to the curses at the end of the day. But nevertheless, man, to try to explain what happened, man, hey, it all goes back to the scriptures, man, so just analyzing this picture, man, and like I said, just pretty much just looking back, analyzing how things used to be at one point, and just look at how things are today. Like this picture is displaying. So what happened, man? Well, I'm just gonna go through some precepts, man, because like I said, man, you got to give Esau, well, all the credit goes to Yahweh Shema Shai, because like I said, he set Esau up, man. He set this devil up to be the devil, man, and he's done exactly that. You got to give, hey, man, you got to give a round of applause to Esau, man, because he has fulfilled his purpose, all right, as being the devil that the Bible talks about, all right, the spiritual counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, all right. But just going through a few precepts, man, because like I said, Esau, he's a very, now I did a video a couple of days ago or so going into how the women basically are completely out of order. Our women, they're completely out of order, all right, which this whole pact with the Israelite woman, more specifically the so-called black woman and the so-called white man, all right, this is a thing that goes all the way back to the Gardanian pact, man, that that brothers affectionately call the Gardanian pact, starting in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. I read that, touched on that in the video, and again, we're seeing the effects of that being played out to this very day, because the whole thing with Eve, which Eve, she was a so-called black woman, all right. The whole thing with Eve eating an apple, right, and now she knows the knowledge of good and evil. Well, listen, as I mentioned before, that whole thing, because again, nowhere in the scriptures, for one, does it talk about how Eve, she actually ate a physical apple, all right? But the fruit, all right, that she partook of going into the different philosophies, all right, and one of those things being this whole thing with feminism, all right? Matter of fact, I'm going to go there real quick in Genesis, the third chapter. Genesis, the third chapter, because I was going to make the point about that serpent, right? That serpent, which is basically a witch, it's basically a warlock, all right? Because, the characteristics of a serpent, is very deceptive, conniving, very cunning, all right? And that's the characteristics of Esau Edom. He's a very slick Rick, man. He's very cunning, very crafty, all right? You see, Esau, listen, Esau, they do they study, man, as the scriptures go to how they do a diligent search, man. So like I said, when it, with the what we see today, man, this is something that Esau, he strategically, set up, man. But like I said, because ultimately it was all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right? But I'm going to read this in Genesis, the third chapter. Because I'm going to just say this, it was never set up for the man and women to be equal, all right? Going into the natural order of things, start with the Heavenly Father, all right, Yahweh, then you have the only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, you got the Israelite man, and then the Israelite woman, and then the children. That is the natural order of things. And like I said, not too much long ago, like I said, there was some type of, you had some type of, somewhat of that, order in place, all right, where, like I said, the men, they were, play their roles. The women, she understood her role. She played her role. She wasn't out and about in the streets and, doing, just, because as much as, this makes people cringe in today's westernized society, women, they're supposed to, so to say, have a spiritual leash on them. You're not supposed to just, women aren't supposed to just have the liberty to just, gad abroad, man, as the scriptures say, man. Give her no freedom to, matter of fact, let me get that in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. And why is that? Because listen, this is why, again, man, you got a lot of whoredom taking place, man. Women out here committing adultery, right? It's just all type of wickedness going on, you see, and part of that a lot of that has to do with the fact that these women, they have the liberty, all right? They have the privilege of, just doing whatever they want, where's that at? Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 25, verse 25. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Because by nature, women, they're all over the place. All right. They have a very childlike mindset. And I often use this example about how, hey, you give your child the credit card and you just, leave them in the store, leave them in the candy store or toy store. All right. You can kind of get a sense of how that's going to turn out. All right. You best believe you're going to have the next day, you're going to have a bill, $30,000 or, whatever, you best believe that credit cards are going to be maxed out. You see, you can't leave a child unattended like that, and like I said, as much as it cringes people to hear that type of, hear things like that in this westernized society, nevertheless, like I said, women, for the most part, they have a very childlike mindset. And you can't just leave a woman unattended because she'll just start wandering off and she'll just start doing her own thing. And that's out of order. You see? But this is what women's lib. Like I said, you could just go back to that whole thing with Gloria Steinem and, that whole movement. You had the so-called black woman standing right next to her, right? Which I believe Gloria Steinem, she was I believe she was a sodomite, all right? But nevertheless, Um, so yeah, again, Ecclesiasticus 25:25, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. So women aren't supposed to just have the privilege to just gad abroad and just have the freedom to just, go out and do whatever they want. You see, back in the ancient world, hey, listen, for the most part, hey, women, if she did leave the house, it was to pretty much, go out and about and, basically get groceries, buy food or whatever. But even with that, she would have an escort. All right. I believe she would have servants or some type of, some type of escort. I believe it was like a female escort or something like that. You see, man. So going back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter, because this is the deceptiveness of this serpent, which this is the same spirit that's in Esau Edom today. All right. Because Eve, a lot of women are, coming to find out that this whole thing with feminism, right? A lot of them are starting to come to find out that this, they were tricked, man. They were beguiled, because, coming to find out that this isn't, what they thought it to be, a lot of these women that, they wanted to live their whole lives, playing the field and being harlots and just doing whatever they want. A lot of them are majority of them are starting to, come to find out that that was a mistake, But I'm going to read this in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. This is, going into the serpent beguiling Eve, right? And you notice how, this serpent, which it's not talking about a snake, all right? Nowhere in the scriptures does it mention an actual, snake, all right? But again, going into the characteristics of a serpent, because, hey, a serpent, man, hey, it's crafty, it can be cunning, it can sit there and wait, and it can sit there and wait for the perfect moment to strike, and because I was going to mention how you notice this serpent, which was a man, all right, it didn't approach Adam, you see, because, hey, well, let me not jump the gun, because again, this is all strategically set up. Esau did this, he set this up strategically. There's a reason why, the serpent came to Eve and it didn't go to Adam. So Genesis, the 3rd chapter, right? Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Matter of fact, I'm just going to start a run and I'm going to read down very briefly. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, have God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. All right. So basically, like I said, as I mentioned earlier, the Lord never set it up. There's no such thing as equality when it comes to the sexes. All right. There's no such thing as men and women being equal. All right. And you see part of the philosophies. All right. This fruit that Eve consumed. All right. Was the fact that pretty much she could be on the same level as a man, pretty much. All right. Again, feminism, this is pretty much what feminism is about. Not needing a man, women thinking that they're better than the men, superior to the men, and all these other things. All right. This is pretty much, what this serpent was feeding to Eve. All right. You see, man, so yeah, like I said, part of this, what this serpent was feeding to Eve, man, a lot of it consists of feminism, pretty much. All right. That's like a major thing that, going into this fruit that Eve was, consuming, partaking in, that she wasn't supposed to partake in. All right. You see, man. So, um, again, you want to know what happened. Trying to explain what happened. Well, a major part of that is feminism. All right, why the Israelite family structure for the most part? Because for the most part, man, you don't see a lot of this. What goes on in our communities, man, you don't really see it going on in these other nations and their communities, because for the most part, the men the men of the other nations, for the most part, they keep their women in check. All right, they keep their women in order for the most part. You think Esau feeds his woman this feminism bullshit? Hell no. This mainly affects our people, our communities, which, like I said, strategically set up, done by Esau Edom. You see, man, and again, going into, this whole feminism thing, to where the women think that they don't need a man, right? They can get these benefits, right? The whole welfare, they can, just that whole attitude. I don't need a man, Miss Independent, right? Because again, women, these modern women, man, these Western women, they don't believe in order. They don't believe in, and mostly Israelite women, all right, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian women, they don't believe in subjecting themselves to an Israelite man, all right. And I best believe that, when it comes to the so-called white man, they'll be on their knees and crawling on all fours and doing all type of weirdo shit for the so-called white man. But when it comes to the Israelite man, their own man, all right, they don't believe in subjecting themselves, to us. You see, and again, this is, a major part of why, the Israelite family structure, man, is all these broken up homes, man. These women, they have these kids with these, kids with multiple men, multiple baby daddies, right? And wondering why they can't find a man, and all these other things, man. Like I said, this is ultimately strategically set up by Esau Edom, all right? Because, going back to Adam and Eve, who did the Lord give the law, statutes, and commandments to? He gave them to Adam, all right? Because he's the head, the Israelite man, he's the head. Again, the natural order is the Heavenly Father, all right? The only begotten Son, the husband, the wife, then the children, all right? You see, so again, this is why, this serpent, he didn't go to Eve, or excuse me, he didn't go to Adam, he went to Eve, all right? Because, Adam, he when the scriptures talk about how the Lord breathed the breath of life into Adam, all right? He was talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the commandments, all right? You see, because at the end of the day, that's who Yahweh is dealing with. He's dealing with the men, all right? He's dealing with the Israelite man, all right? And as far as the Israelite woman, her job is just to, be complementary to her husband, to her man, all right? She's supposed to be a helpmeet unto her man, her husband, you see? But again, being that the Israelite man, all right, because that's where the power lies, that's where that's the hedge right there, all right? That's the hedge of protection right there, man. And if you remove the hedge of protection, then anything's pretty much bound to happen. I'm gonna get that in Ecclesiasticus chapter 20. Matter of fact, Ecclesiasticus chapter 36. Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 24, it says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession." Because again, another thing that you people don't want to hear, you women don't want to hear, you modernized, westernized women don't want to hear. You are property. You are our property. You are property to us, to the Israelite man, just like we are the property of Yahweh Shema Shai. You are our property. All right. So again, it says, "He that getteth a wife." A wife just means woman, and that's been broken down 1,000,001 times. A woman means a female servant. Look it up. You got this chick, Kataji Brown, or whatever her name is, talking about how, she can't answer a simple question on what a woman is. Well, matter of fact, I'm not even, that's Lord's will, that's another video, but nevertheless, it says, "He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest." So you see, you're supposed to be an aid to your husband, man, a help me. But the point is in verse 25, it says, "Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. and he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. All right. So it said, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. So you see, if you remove the hedge of protection, then hey, the possession is bound to be spoiled, man. It's bound to be taken. And like I said, man, it's just, whatever from there, man. Anything can happen from there. And this is what he's done. All right. To the Israelite family structure. All right. He's removed the hedge of protection. He's removed the hedge. All right. The head, which is the man. All right. Going, all back to this whole feminism thing. All right. To where these women, they get these benefits. All they got to do is pretty much kick the man out the house, and they get all these benefits. Right. They get these degrees, these scholars, or whatever. All they got to do is kick the man out the house. All right. You see, and again, this is why, the possession, like I said, man, anything is up for grabs, man. Anything is bound to happen to the possession, and you see the results of that today. These women, they're just all over the place, man. They're just they're just gone. All right, to the point where, hey, man, for a lot of these women, it's too late. Like I said, a lot of these women, they've come to understand and regret their decision of being with this whole feminism nonsense. All right, now when for a lot of these women that actually want to settle down and have children, it's too late. You all ran through, all right, and you wonder why you're sitting on the couch drinking wine with all your little cats by yourself, lonely, miserable. You see, man. But I'm going to read this in Mark chapter 3, verse 27. It says, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods. Right. Because again, hey, that man, he's the hedge, man. He's the head. All right. You see? And well, let me just read it out. It says, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. So listen, man. All right. You're not coming in to take this possession unless you take out the head, man. Unless you take out the protection, the protector. All right. And in this case, Esau, he's done exactly that. He's removed the man out of the picture. All right. And he's pretty much had his way with our women. Pretty much, man. He's had our way with our women. I'm going to read that again, man. It says, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. So, Esau, he set up to where the man is not in the picture. All right. Took the man out the way, the Israelite man out the way. All right. And he's pretty much had his way, with our women. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can find this real quick. You see, man, and man, listen, because again, ultimately this all goes back to Yahweh Shema Shai. This is his will. All right. Because the scriptures talk about how, man, we shall bear the indignation of the Lord, man. Ultimately, as far as what the Israelite man has to deal with, man, because like I said, for the most part, this doesn't, what goes on in our communities, you don't see this going on, and with these heathens, man. This shit doesn't go down with these other nations. They keep for the most part, they keep their women in order. It's like, why is this happening to us? Well, again, ultimately, we sinned, we went off, all right, and the Lord has given us a little taste of how he feels, man, because we hurt the Lord, man. We hurt him. And this is why, it's just, you can't really, be too upset, man. You can't really, you can't let it really get to you, man. You can't be mad at you can't be mad at Eve for the most part, man, because like I said, man, the Lord's just giving us a little taste of how he's giving us a little taste of how he feels, man, how we did him, man, because we listen, we did the Lord dirty, man. We did him dirty, so, the shit sucks, but hey, this is how, we got a small taste of how the Lord feels, man. That's why we just got to deal with it, man. Until the Lord ultimately comes and reestablishes order. All right. But there was a precept there was a precept in Ecclesiasticus, I think that's 27. Ecclesiasticus 27. Because I just read Mark chapter 3, verse 27, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 3, it says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. All right. And like I said, man, pretty much, we did the Lord dirty, man, and he allowed our house to, be overthrown, man, because you try to establish, for brothers that have wives, man, and children, you try to establish order, man, that, good luck to you, man. All right. Because, right now, when it comes to our women, I'm not even going to call them our women, but when it comes to Eve, man, when it comes to the Israelite woman, right now she's in league with Esau, Edom. All right. That's her husband. That's her God. That's her daddy. All right. You see, and again, Esau gives her the permission to it's like, who are we? Again, you try to establish order in your house. Like I said, man, good luck with that, man. That's only going to get you but so far, man, because these women, this is what happens when you put them in position of power, give them, a position of authority, right? Which, like I said, man, ultimately, this all goes back to the curses. I'm going to get this in Jeremiah chapter 32. Jeremiah chapter 32. Jeremiah chapter 31. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22 says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. So, you see, that's why I said this is a new thing, because, again, there's, for the most part, like I said, man, I heard a elder brother say this, man, and it just stuck with me ever since. Because, we're living in the time of, because everything in this society is based off women worship. Women that put on these pedestals. All right. It's all about the woman, right? This, the scriptures talk about, for a man, we're not supposed to give our strength unto women, because, listen, man, from there, it's just nothing but chaos and confusion. That's the only thing that comes forth from women being in position of power. All right. Chaos and confusion. All right. And again, this is part of why these family structures, they're all out of order, unstable. Right. A lot of relationships don't work out. You're always butting heads. Right. All this is due to feminism, man. You see, and these women being put on these pedestals, man. And going back to what I was going to mention from my elder brother, man, he made this statement and it stuck with me ever since, because, we're in the, there's a bunch of simps out here, man. These dudes, man, they worship these women. They got they're wrapped around the woman's finger, man. And if our forefathers were here today, man, they would go upside our head, man, because this is, it was never, like I said, it was never intended for it to be like this. But you didn't hear about this shit in the ancient world. Hell, even in certain parts of the earth, like Russia and, those Middle Eastern cultures, man, in India and, certain places, man, a woman, she gets out of order, she gets punched in her shit, man. She gets punched in her face. She'll get beheaded, right? You see, man, and, because that type of, people complain about toxic masculinity. Well, listen, the Lord's going to bring us a spirit of so-called toxic masculinity. He's going to bring a spirit of masculinity back over here to the West. All right. You see, man, the Lord's going to, when he brings that spirit over here, you people, man, you're especially you women, you're in trouble, because, of course, that's not something that, then these people are used to over here in the West. Even for these men, these men, they're so docile and just weak, man, feeble-minded, bunch of soy boys, man, Well, when, like I said, when the Lord brings a spirit of masculinity over here, man, These people, they're not gonna be ready for it, man. You know, and you women that have a man and you think he might be too quote unquote toxic masculinity or whatever, he might be too masculine for you or whatever. Hey, you better get used to it, man. You better get used to it, because like I said, when the Lord brings these cats over here, man, and these cats, when they start coming over here and ravishing, the scriptures talk about how these people, man, they're going to be ravishing homes. They're going to be ravishing. Women are going to get ravished. A lot of these women are going to get raped to death, man. All right? Because when these people come over here, they're not going to be playing no games with you people, man. You know? They're going to be killing for sport. You know? So, hey, you people, hey, like I said, you women, you got a man and, you know, he's masculine or whatever the case may be, you better, hey, deal with it. All right? Because again, nevertheless, hey, ultimately, especially if you have a man of the Lord, man, you know, that's important, man. That's crucial. If you have a man of the Lord as your husband, you better do right by him by all means necessary. Because again, he's going to be your hedge. And as I read before, hey, you know, you remove the hedge, man, the possession is bound to be spoiled, man. And a lot of you women are going to end up becoming a spoil, man. You know? So you women, man, y'all better get right, man. You know? But I'm going to read this again in Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And you see the results of that today: broken homes, all right, unstable relationships, all right. You know, like I said, women, you know, they're 30, 40 years old, wondering why they can't find a man, just sitting on the couch, drinking wine, and miserable, you know, because, hey, this is the result of a woman compassing a man, women being in these positions over men. And like I said, from there, it causes nothing but chaos and confusion. You know, this is why it's best for you women to just be in order, man. Submit yourself to a man, and more importantly, to a man of the Lord. All right. You know, and be a helpmeet to him, be an aid to him, man. You know, and you'll see, man, I promise you, man, I'm saying this out of faith. I promise you, I guarantee you, you know, hey, things will work out for you, man. Things will work out for you both. Because, hey, this society teaches this bullshit that, you know, the happy wife, happy life. No, man. If he wins, all y'all win. You know, if he's good, he's going to make sure that everyone, the whole house is straight. You know, it's like, man, with the Heavenly Father, man. Hey, when we do our part, because the scriptures liken us, compares us to the Lord's woman. That's why I said, like, you know, when it comes to our women, what we got to deal with our own women. Hey, listen, you know, being that, you know, we're likened unto a woman unto the Lord. We're basically the Lord's wife. He's our husband. Well, hey, we played the whore. We played the harlot, man. You know? So, like I said, this is why the Lord, he's just giving us a little taste of how he feels, how we did him, man. You know? But I'm going to read this in 2 Timothy chapter 2. Because, again, this is what happens when you put these women in a position of power. All right? It breeds nothing but chaos and confusion. You see? And this is, again, something that was strategically set up by Esau because, hey, the man, he was the one that established the law. All right? He established the order, the discipline. All right? You know, for the most part, you women, you don't know how to, you know, they talk about, you know, can a woman raise a man? No, a woman, for the most part, because, you know, when I say these things, there are always a few exceptions to the rule, you know, but as a majority, no, women, they can't raise men. All right. All right. And tell me I'm lying, because, hey, all you see today is these goddamn soy boys, man, these simps, right? These, you know, these so-called men, man, these beta males, all right? And majority of them, you know, get locked up. You know, majority of them are emotional. Well, why is that? It's because the majority of them were raised by women, all right? And women are, by nature, like I said, they just let their emotions lead them. They let their emotions run them. And this is what you know, spread forth off the children, more specifically the sons. That's why you have a bunch of emotional ass niggas now getting locked up, all right, so on and so forth, man. You see, because these women, they've been given these positions of power, and they let it get to their head. You see, you can't tell these women anything, man. You can't tell them nothing. But First Timothy chapter 2. First Timothy chapter 2. First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 12, it says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." So, hey, this is the scriptures, man. This is thus saith the Lord. Because matter of fact, have me meditating on, because you got in Revelation the seven churches. Well, one of the churches, I'm gonna read it. Revelation chapter 2. Revelation chapter 2. Revelation chapter 2. You see, this is what happens when you give women any position of power and put any woman in a position of authority. Revelation chapter 2 in verse 18, it says, unto the angel of the church of Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass. So this is one of the seven churches, all right? Because, pretty much these seven churches, there was things that the Lord was pleased with, but, hey, the Lord basically was calling him out on things that he was displeased with. And, they had to get it right. They had to get it together, man. And this is one of those churches that the Lord, well, let me just read it. It says, I know thy works in charity and service and faith and thy patience and thy works in the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. So you see, all right, that spirit, that Jezebel spirit, that controlling, conniving. Like I said, a lot of these, you go into the history of Jezebel, and I believe it was a King Ahab, all right. That's pretty much what you see today. Because like I said, a lot of these dupes, they're pretty much these dudes, these so-called men, they're in that spirit of Ahab, man. He was wrapped around Jezebel's finger. All right, he was a simp. He was a beta male. All right, Jezebel, she was very controlling, conniving. She was in a position of authority. Jezebel, she pretty much had it out for the prophets. She had it out for the men of the Lord, trying to kill the men of the Lord, right? You see, and this is the same spirit that's we see today. All right, that Jezebel spirit. A lot of you women are turning to witchcraft. All right. And again, you got a lot of these simp beta males, right? You see, well, this is an issue with Yahweh Shema Shah, because that's not the order of things, man. All right. You simps, man, you beta males, y'all got to grow a pair of balls, man. Y'all got to grow up here, man, and be men. Because that's one thing. Let me get that. And I think that's Isaiah chapter, Isaiah 48. That's one thing, the Lord, he requires us to be men. Just bear with me real quick. I said Isaiah 48. I think that was just look for it real quick. Isaiah 46. Isaiah chapter 46 verse 8. It says, remember this, you see, Because we had these things in remembrance at one point, at one time. All right. You know, we had it at one point. So we're being called back to the remembrance of things, man. It says, and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. You see? Because again, we went off, man. And the Lord allowed this to happen to what we see playing out today. These women being over, having these positions of authority. All right. And again, it's just nothing but chaos and confusion, you know, but we're being called back into manhood. Again, you men, y'all, you know, hey, you know, because, hey, we're pretty much all alpha males in training. Yahushua, he's the top alpha male. Well, we're alpha males in training. You see? So, hey, we're being called back into true manhood. And a real man, he don't let in this society, they, you know, the ladies first, girls first, you know, I got to open the door for the, no, man, it's supposed to be the other way around. She's supposed to be opening the doors for you. All right. She's supposed to be going out of her way for you. It's not supposed to be the other way around, man. That's why I said, like, if our forefathers were here, man, they would go upside our head, man. You know? So man up, man. You know? But going back to 1 Timothy 2, because I was going to say, a real man, he doesn't, you know, let his woman run him. You know, or, you know, that, you know, different circumstances, you know, you got to be wise. You got to be, you know, we got to be wise, man. Because, you know, a lot of, you know, some dudes may be staying with their women. And even the scripture talk about how you can't, you know, a man is not supposed to just, you know, be like a roaring lion in his house. You know, you got to be wise, you know. But as far as, because again, that's another thing, you know, a lot of these women, you know, you brothers that stay with women, you know, hey, you know, all the bills might be in her name. So, hey, like I said, you know, she might thinking that, you know, she's in charge, you know, she's going to think that she's the alpha, you know. So, like I said, with that, you just got to deal wisely, man, you know. But again, this is why I'm going to read this again, 2 Timothy 2 and 12. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Because like I said, you know, you staying with a woman, all the bills in her name, everything's in her name. You best believe she's going to let that shit get to her head. All right. And best believe you're not going to be able to tell her a damn thing. All right. You know, you're not going to be able to tell her a damn thing. All right. Now, other translations, it goes into when it talks about not nor usurping authority over the man. You know, different translations, it'll say like the New King James Version, it'll say, and I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man, but to be in silence. And pretty much, you know, the other translations, it'll say the same thing. But that authority, man, that being put in that position, right? You know, matter of fact, because like when you go into that usurping, it just basically goes into like you know, basically practicing dominion, right? You know, rulership. All right, that's pretty much, you know, what it goes into, you know. Yeah, to govern, to exercise dominion over one. Yeah. So that's not a woman's, that's not her role. The role for a woman is not to be practicing dominion over a man. All right, that's not natural for one. And again, you know, this is why you see a lot of relationships don't work out. Women, they always bumping heads, thinking she's the head honcho. She's wearing the pants, right? And you wanna know why? You got stuff like this, man. All right, women, they're single, all these kids, different men, miserable, right? You see, man, I'm gonna get this in Ecclesiasticus. In Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 9, it says, for the blessing of the father established the houses of children. So you see, because again, the Israelite man, he's the head honcho, all right? He was the lawgiver. He was the one that dished out the law, the order, all right? But when you read down, it says, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation. So you see, and again, this is why you have a bunch of broken homes, man. There's no foundation, there's no structure, all right? Because for the most part, the majority of these women, they run the household, and they wonder why, you know, shit doesn't get done, nothing is working out, everything is just unstable. Because when you give women these positions of power, it leads to nothing but chaos and confusion. All right. So this is the importance of the role of the Israelite man, which again, Esau, he, strategically did this. He set this up on purpose, man. He did this on purpose. I'm going to get this in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12. I'm sorry, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14. Because again, this is a part of the foundations of the earth all being out of course, man. Everything is out of whack. Everything is flipped upside down. Well, this is why we need Yahushua to flip things right side up, man. Because we're tired of this shit, man. We're tired. Brothers is tired, man. But Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse 25. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 24. It says, they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery. So that there reigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages, or adultery and shameless uncleanness. So this is everything that Esau, this is everything that he's caused, man. Mainly the disorder of marriages. All right. There's no order in these marriages. Again, these women, they're completely out of order. I heard these guys from Fresh and Fit, man. They mentioned how a lot of these women, they want a traditional man. They want a man to provide for them and do all these things for them, but they don't know how to play. They don't know how to be traditional women. Because in this society, again, everything is based off the woman worship, right? Well, hey, the men is basically taught to basically go all out his wits for the women, but women aren't taught how to treat a man. And that's the sad truth. Men are taught, they're told to, do all these things for women. You got to do all these things for the women, but women are not. Who's teaching the women how to, take care of a man, how to treat a man, Again, all this, the disorder in marriages, man. Like I said, these women, they want a traditional man, but they don't know how to be traditional women. Completely out of order. Yet they're expecting to be wiped up, That's another joke, man. These women, they're completely out of order. They're straight up demons. But yet, they're expecting you to put a ring on it. No, man. It don't work like that, man. But the unfaithfulness, right? Because, hey, let's just be real, man. Elder Apostle Cabal often talks about it, how, hey, these women, listen, man, I'm going to get this. There's a scripture. Lord's will I can find it. Oh, man. There's a scripture, man. I don't even know how to word it. Oh, man. See if I can type it in. Because, these women, man, they have all these social media platforms, right? They have all these social media platforms, man. They're getting all these attention from these other men, right? And a lot of them, hey, they have a husband, man. They have a man. Damn, there's a scripture. It basically talks about how, listen, if she does you wrong, man, if she commits adultery, if she cheats on you or whatever, listen, don't be surprised, because, these women, man, it's unfortunate, but hey, they have access to these things such as social media and all these other things, man, which it's a breeding ground for this type of activity to take place. Like I said here, man, the the disorder in marriages, the adultery and the shameless uncleanness. You know, this place is the breeding ground for it, man. You know, and again, they got these social media platforms, right? You know, they have access, man. They again, that's the problem. They have too much privilege. They have too many privileges, man, and that's the problem. You know. So I can't find a scripture, man, but it basically talks about how, hey, man, if she, you know, does you wrong, hey, don't you, really, we should expect it, you know, because that's another thing when it comes to your expectations. Hey, man, you got jakes out here, man. They think, oh, not my woman. Oh, my woman, she's the queen, right? Oh, my woman is faithful. Yeah, okay, all right. You could tell yourself that, buddy. You know. But anyways, man, yeah, don't be surprised. Matter of fact, yep, it's coming to me. The water Yawakal Shai. Yep, it's coming to me. Yep. Yep, spelled it wrong. Yep, that's it. The water Yawakal Shai. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 11. It says, I was just in that chapter too. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 11. Matter of fact, yeah, verse 11. It says, watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. So you see, like I said, being that these women, they, you know, spending all day, majority of their day on, you know, social media, man. Mostly all day on their phones and whatnot, man. What do you think they're doing for the most part, man? You know, like I said, they get all this attention, all these likes and comments, right? What do you think they're doing, man? So don't be surprised if the spirit reveals it to where, hey, she's been, you know, talking to other dudes and whatnot. Don't be surprised if she trespassed against you, man. And quite frankly, that's her ass. Because, like I said, more so, if you're a man of the Lord, man, and you got a woman, you know, and she ends up, you know, she ends up leaving you or kicking you out or committing adultery, that's her ass. All right. That's her ass, man. The Lord's going to deal with her. The Lord's going to smoke. The Lord is going to kill her ass. Because that's another thing. And listen, you know, they teach that the women are replaceable. Listen, you know, as far as the brothers, man, we're the you know, irreplaceable ones. All right. Especially if you're a man of the Lord, man. All right. You know, they're expendable. They're the expendable ones. We're the irreplaceable ones. You know, and that's just another one of those things. These women, they, you know, think that they're irreplaceable, right? They think that we're the expendable ones. All right. Well, let them think that. This is why the humbling has to take place. That's why Yawakal Shai, he has to humble this place, man. He has to bring, this is why, listen, this is one of many reasons why, listen, we can't wait for all hell to break loose, because the Lord's going to show these people who had it right, who had it wrong. The Lord's going to show these people, man. He's going to show these people at the end of the day. You know, that's why, as I quoted, hey, we have to bear the indignation of the Lord, man. We just have to sit back and just let this thing play out, man. We just have to suck it up a little longer. The Lord's going to come through for us, man. All right. And these women, they're going to find out. They're going to find out, man. But like I said, don't be surprised, man. You know, don't be surprised. Because like I said, if something happens to where she's actually committing adultery, well, you find out that she's committing adultery, or she kicks you out, or whatever the case may be, the Lord's going to kill her ass. And he's going to replace her with a new chick, man. No big deal. You know, look at King David. Hey, you know, King David, hey, he you know, committed adultery, right, with Bathsheba, if I'm not mistaken, right? And set it up to where her husband got killed in war, right? You know, basically set him up to be killed. And the Lord told him, listen, if you wanted more women, the Lord told King David, hey, here it is. I gave you King Saul's daughter, you know, so on and so forth. Because, you know, King David, he had multiple wives, all right, you know. And the Lord told him, listen, you didn't even, you know, because again, you know, King David, he pretty much, you know, committed adultery and set up the husband to get killed. The Lord told King David, listen, if you wanted more women, all you had to do was ask for it, you know. So you see, man, hey, our time is coming for the whole, you know, multiple wives and all that's coming. Just wait until Isaiah 4:1 comes. Just wait until all hell breaks loose. You know, like I said, we just got to sit back and wait. Our time is coming. And if you got a woman, she ain't right, hey, the Lord will smoke her ass, man, and you know, give you new ones. All right, not a new one, but new ones. All right, plural, multiple. So don't worry about it right now, man. You know, as far as you brothers, man, you men, hey, you're the prize. And you know, the Lord eventually, He's gonna, you know, show these women. He's gonna show these women that. You know. But hey, man, hopefully this is edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, double honor to the apostles and others of great millstone. Yahweh Shema Shai, Barak a thumb to you, hopefully elect. Lord's willing, until next time, shalom.